Hallo Freunde und willkommen zurück zu The Witcher 3, wo wir uns mit Regis getroffen haben und gerade bei einem schönen Mandragora-Schnaps bzw. Alraunenschnaps ein bisschen über die Vergangenheit quatschen. Und ich habe glaube ich schon mal erwähnt, ja, Regis habe ich auf jeden Fall vorher schon erwähnt, ist halt ein höherer Vampir, der im Gegensatz zum völkischen Glauben über Vampire nicht dazu gezwungen ist, Blut zu trinken, denn Blut ist für die effektiv wie für uns der Alkohol, nur noch ein bisschen intensiver. Und Regis, ja, man könnte sagen, er war mal abhängig, er hat es aber scheinbar geschafft.
Got a new life, a new body. That give you a new start, blank slate?
Starting all anew is a very broad concept. What exactly do you mean?
Your blood addiction, say. Wondering if your body's the same, if it still remembers. Maybe if you drank now, you wouldn't get hooked.
All addictions are a form of slavery. Re-addiction's not a risk I'm willing to take, just to test a hypothesis about corporeal regeneration and whether propensities carry over.
Fair enough. Curiosity, that's all. Sorry.
Not to worry, Geralt. Curiosity is a natural reaction under the circumstances, apart from which I've always valued that trait in you.
Ja, was auch ganz lustig ist, die haben ja am Anfang, als wir Regis hier auf dem Friedhof getroffen haben, ja, es kann ja nicht klischeehafter sein, als einen Vampir auf einem Friedhof zu treffen. Wo haben Geralt und Regis sich das erste Mal getroffen? Richtig, auf einem Friedhof. Geralt wusste halt nur noch nicht, dass er ein Vampir ist, weil, naja, auf Vampire reagiert das Medaillon nicht.
Always fascinated me the way vampires can regenerate. A hand growing back is one thing, but Detloff recreating you out of a wet smear? Something else entirely.
A difficult and laborious process, but one that's possible, as my presence proves. But I've heard you too had quite the adventure. They say you lost your memory.
Ja, wir sind ja auch gestorben, also.
For a bit, but Triss helped me get it back. Actually, pretty damn lucky I only had amnesia.
Yes, you humans are rather buggered in those terms. To strip you of life is, well, it's just plain easy. I've always pitied you in that regard.
Wie gesagt, an sich ist Geralt ja auch gestorben.
Also. Nuts to crack. If a member of another race kills one of us, we can be reborn with a living higher vampire's help. However, if one of our own strikes the deadly blow, death is permanent. There can be no rebirth. One of the chief reasons why vampires long ago swore never to fight one another.
All right, give you one question. What do you want to know?
One question to ask one as fascinating as you, Geralt. Cruel parsimony, I'd say, but I shall do my best to make it count. If you were to die and be reborn as I was, in your new life, would you choose to be a Witcher?
Ja.
See, Regis. Doubt I'd know how to be anything else.
Ever tried?
See, you're determined to get an answer, to find out if I like being a Witcher. Just refuse to ask directly, as always. I like being on the path. I like picking up a lead, a trail. I like the tension right before a fight. And nothing gets my adrenaline flowing like battling a beast. Even gotten used to people treating me like a freak, an outcast. Yeah, not something I think about much, but I like being a Witcher.
Thank you for being honest. Honesty is an attribute of the truly brave, and thus a privilege of the very few.
Still no sign of your winged friend. Sure it understood what you wanted?
Dead certain. Let's wait a bit longer. It'll return soon, don't doubt that for a moment.
Ach ja. Da war wohl wer erfolgreich.
Ever vigilant, even in his sleep. Quite vampire-like, in fact. Are you absolutely certain they don't administer a few of our genes during the trial of the grasses?
Das,
Appreciate the compliment. Got something for me?
You were right. No kobolds or mamoons for miles around.
Knew it.
Allow me to finish. You see, there's this spotted white. It haunts an abandoned residence in the Caraberta woods.
Impossible. My brethren hunted down every last spotted white before I was born.
Then it seems you must revise your knowledge of spotted whites. For somehow this one managed to survive your brethren's onslaught. It seems I know this home it haunts. Recall a tale about it. Locals believe the place cursed. Perhaps that's how the white survived entirely unmolested.
Whites rarely appear in the woods, even less likely to find them in abandoned human homes. They inhabit remote wildernesses, old abandoned cemeteries.
What's your point?
This might not be a spotted white after all. Your little helper might have made a mistake.
I sincerely doubt it. Ravens are devilishly intelligent creatures, and they've highly developed observational skills.
What exactly did they observe?
The area around the estate, it's covered in spoons.
Spoons?
Spare me the skeptical smile. I'm but the bearer of this news. Or perhaps this spotted white is a hoarder. Or the spoons are somehow related to the curse.
ja, und da sind wir letztens schon mal dran vorbeigekommen. Wobei ich nicht weiß, ob das in der normalen Folge war oder in der Sonderfolge. Das muss ich zugeben. Aber
Know anything else about this
wir
curse?
hatten einen
I don't
Brief über
recall much in
einen
particular.
Typen, der
Really
einen
don't attach much importance to such things. It was mentioned to me as an anecdote, no more.
Come on, search your memory. Something, anything could be important.
I believe it had a relation to hunger, or perhaps greed, rapacity. Someone was punished for something.
Textbook definition of a curse, pretty much.
Sorry, Geralt, I try not to clutter my mind with the details of every far-fetched tale I happen to hear. What are your thoughts?
A specimen of a species thought long extinct. And a curse. In one place. That a coincidence? Or are they related?
Ah, professional curiosity. Personally, I've nothing against you delving into this dilemma, but please remember we need the white's saliva. Nothing beyond that.
Na dann.
Let's do this. Start making your decoction while I go get some saliva from that white. Uses it in its brews.
Do you imagine the white will simply sell you some?
Worst case scenario, I'll bring you its salivary glands. They ought to do as well.
For a moment there, I imagined you asking the white to spit into a vial. Quite amusing as a thought, but the salivary glands will do fine indeed.
So, see you later.
Yes, till later. I shall start by perusing some tomes.
Tomes? Thought you were gonna make this decoction.
We require one last ingredient. Alas, obtaining it could prove a trifle toilsome. Thus, I hope to identify a suitable alternative.
All right. Good luck.
And to you, my friend.
So. Hauptsache die Katze wirkt halt immer noch an. So. So. Optional. Ach komm, lesen wir das Bestiarium darüber. Nein. Das ist wahrscheinlich mit Relikte. Fluchte Wesen. Ja. Oh, Mann. Die beste Verteidigung gegen Fleckenwichte besteht in Ruhe und Stille. Fleckenwichte sind eine von Hexern praktisch ausgerüstete Unterform der Wichte. Sie sind größer als ihre fleckenlosen Verwandten und verdanken ihren Namen den zahllosen Flecken und Absonderungen ihrer Haut. Fleckenwichte leben meist auf alten Friedhöfen und fernab in der Wildnis. Es kommt jedoch auch vor, dass sie in verlassenen menschlichen Behausungen unterkriechen. Ihre größte Leidenschaft besteht darin, sich aus ihren eigenen Absonderungen eine Suppe zu kochen. Wenn man sie nicht stört, sind sie nicht sehr aggressiv. Fühlen sie sich allerdings bedroht, können sie sehr gefährlich werden. Bei tiefen Temperaturen fallen sie in eine Art Winterstarre. Manche sagen, Hexer hätten eine todsichere Art gefunden, Fleckenwichte zu überwältigen. Sie soll etwas mit dem klugen Einsatz des Irdenzeichens zu tun haben, aber vielleicht ist das auch nur Hexergarn. Okay. Kommst du mal nicht davon?
Shit.
Keks. So, Dankeschön. Jaguarleder. Wolfsrudel, komm. Bist du doof? Der wollte mich verarschen. Springt mich an, ohne mich zu treffen. So, wo müssen wir hin? Ja, da haben wir nämlich den bewachten Schatz hier gefunden. Ja. I remember. So, auf. Wir haben ein Stückchen Weg vor uns. So, nicht zu knapp. Vorne haben wir nochmal eine kleine Festung fast schon. Ich glaube, hier gab es später auch noch eine Quest. Ja. Hier gab es auch noch was.
What's that about? Come on, Roach.
David. Ich wollte gerade sagen, gibt es eine Quest?
The dressings, bandages, where did I put them?
Forget it. Bandages won't do him any good.
What? Oh, but he breathed still a moment ago.
Mm-hmm. Breathed his last then. Bled to death. Legs broken. Femoral arteries ruptured. Wound like that, you're dead in minutes.
Gods.
What happened here exactly?
I was rolling through, fully loaded, when I heard screams. This one crawled towards the road, then drooped to the ground, lost consciousness. I jumped down to help him, dress his wounds. Then you appeared.
Pretty admirable stopping to help a stranger.
Truthfully, when I saw him, I considered it might be an ambush. The thought entered my mind, I near decided to crack the whip. But to abandon a man in need? It's simply not the decent thing to do.
Decent enough in many other places, believe me. Before you go on, clean your hands thoroughly and burn your shirt. Might also want to rub some thyme on your body to be sure. Smell of blood might attract ghouls otherwise.
Who might you be, precisely?
A witcher.
Oh. Do you expect some beast might have killed him?
See what we have here. Legs broken, but cause of death's the wound. Small but deep, edges unfrayed. Either a thrust weapon or a thick claw. Maybe a wyvern's. Tough to say, and... breastplate's unusual. Dented. It's got a patina.
An antiquity, I believe. I deal in these things, so... what's puzzling is... why did he don it?
Not likely to learn that from him. Now to figure out where he came from. From that house, I'm assuming, but need to investigate. Got some work to do. So long.
Wait, I will come with you.
Oh, wenn du Lust hast.
So be it. But stay close, keep it down, and don't touch a thing.
So, was ist das denn für eine Quest? Ach komm, wir sind gerade da. Die Spuren ist natürlich sehr schwer zu folgen. Achso.
Damn it.
Good gods!
Tut mir leid.
Servant, stabbed to death. Over a dozen blows with a sharp object. Some post-mortem.
I cannot believe this is the work of a man. It was a monster, to be sure.
Torso punctured with great force. Blow pierced hardened steel. Man on the high road. Breastplate was identical. Throats massacred. One mighty blow. Shield along sides old and dented. Swords ceremonial. And Shay handiwork clearly. Ceremonial bowls. For little sacrifices?
Of what? Please, do not say humans.
Burn marks. Something catch fire? Explode? Strong stench.
Folgen wir dem Geruch doch mal.
Multiple wounds on the body. All puncture wounds, but hard to tell what caused them. Victim's human, but the attire's elven.
Are you certain? How did he come by it? We've so few non-humans in Tucson.
Fled, then dropped to the ground to douse the flames. Didn't manage. Burnt smells growing fainter. Might have been another luckier soul managed to flee. Doublet scorched. Wriggled out of it, tossed it, then ran on.
Perhaps there's no one inside after...
I know you're in there. Breathing's loud and clear. Open up. We mean you no harm.
They remain there?
Listen, I'm a Witcher. I'm here to help you. But if that's gonna happen, you gotta answer some questions first. Who are you exactly?
Durant Faucher Plamonton de Safaran, Lord of these lands, and Chairman of the Society of Friends of the History of Tucson. We meet here annually to mark the anniversary of the Elfin homage. But something like this, why, it's a first.
Was denn passiert?
You mentioned them. Who do you mean?
Those, I don't know what they were, spirits. It all occurred of a sudden. We were staging a scene, the death of paying homage. There was a flash of light that blinded me completely. I heard cries, though saw nothing. Then felt my own robes were in flames. I broke and ran, threw off my doublet, leapt in here and it shut and locked the door behind me. They pounded on the door. I thought they would get through. I thought I was done for, but in the end, it grew calm.
So while reenacting a scene from the past, somehow, unintentionally, you summoned a specter, a Korgorath, or a tube, maybe.
What? What now?
Best thing? You gotta do it again, of course.
Are you mad? Would you have this thing kill us?
No, don't want it to kill anyone. Precisely why I gotta do my job. Summon it again, whatever it is, and tend to it once and for all. Durand, think I can reenact the pledge? The giving of homage, alone?
It was a great, momentous event. The surrender of Tucson's last elfin king. You will need at least 3 individuals.
Damn it. Can't risk. Can't expose you to danger.
Master, if what you say is true, then I was the cause of this massacre. Unintentionally, yet nonetheless, I've a duty to assist you. A moral one.
Gods have us in their care. I shall help as well.
Let's get to work. Start by clearing the corpses. Got some time. Won't start the reenactment before nightfall. Things of this sort are a lot more likely to work after dusk. One last thing, though. My pay. Don't work for free, you know.
Understood. Just keep the danger at bay, and I shall be generous. Through and through.
Geralt kommt auch immer in den besten Momenten mit seiner Bezahlung an.
I will stand, or rather, sit in for King Ludovic, upon the elfin throne, while you, Witcher, will play the Enche ruler, who we must don the costumes. All must be just right.
The Vethaf, the elven king, hosted Ludovic in his own palace upon his own throne, amidst the blinding glow of a plethora of torches.
So, die Fackeln zünden wir aber erst in der nächsten Folge an. Ich hoffe, es hat euch gefallen und wir sehen uns morgen wieder zu The Witcher 3, wenn wir diese Szene nachstellen. Bis dahin.